Well, good morning, you guys. It is Crystal here from Homemaking on the Homestead. And this morning I am doing a little chatty coffee with Crystal, and I'm going to share with you my new birthday present. I just want to say thank you for joining me this morning for your morning cup of coffee, because I know a lot of you tell me that you do that, and it is so fun. I already had my first cup of coffee when I had my, my quiet time and my morning routine, and now I am up and going and getting on with my day, and so it is time for cup number 2, but that's it. I'm a 2-cup limit per day. I used to drink tons of coffee all the time, but now I can't. I guess it's, you get older, I can't sleep, it's just too much. So usually I have something, going on back here in my kitchen. I'm baking or I'm cooking, but I don't today. Actually, it's a pretty easygoing day for me as far as any kind of kitchen or cooking work that I need to do. Last night I made tuna patties and some baked macaroni and cheese. I haven't done that and I can't tell you how long, and oh my gosh, it was kind of like comfort food, We really enjoyed it, but I made several of the patties, and I've got leftovers for tonight. Plus I had carrot sticks. I think tonight I'll just probably put together a salad to go with that. But really enjoyed that. I'm still working on my pantry meals. It takes a while. I have a video coming up showing you all these things, but I have to make the food, then we eat it, and sometimes these things last 2 or 3 days for us before I get to making the next meal. So that's kind of where I am right now, and just still in the cooking up process. But you'll get a video pretty soon on that. Make sure you let me know down in the comments what are you having for dinner tonight, and how is your week going so far. Mine, when I'm filming this, it's not quite the new week. When the video comes out, it's Tuesday. So I have a really busy week coming up this next week. So yeah, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they are in their 80s, and my mother-in-law has dementia, and my father-in-law often needs some help and assistance, and not to mention that we just want to make sure we see them often. So we usually head up to see them at least monthly. Sometimes we'll do it a couple times in a month. And they live in northern Washington, and they're about 4.5 hours away. So it's kind of a drive, but these are my husband's parents, and they're like my parents. I mean, my husband and I have been together for 40-some years, so they've been in my life for a long time. And also, my youngest son, lives about halfway between our place and their place, so we always take that opportunity to stop and spend several hours with him, and he enjoys that a lot, and so do we. So that's what I have coming up this week, and then by the time I get back, I've got all kinds of things to do, and hopefully start planning that trip to California. We'll see. I know you guys are probably getting sick of me talking about it, but it's coming, I promise. So I was so excited to share with you my birthday present. So my birthday was at the end of March 25th. I turned 59 years old, and that is a kind of a shocker in itself. It's like, wait, how did I get here? When did this happen? To think that I'm in the last year of my 50s. Next year I'll turn 60, but it's okay. It's all good. I think we just have to look at these seasons of life as a blessing and enjoy them. And that's currently where my mindset is at. So a couple weeks before my birthday, my husband asked me, what did I want for my birthday? And usually we're not really gifty people. It's not my love language, if you've ever read that book. But he did ask me this time, and of course he already knew, because I have been talking about getting a new canner for quite a while, and had done a lot of research, so I think he already knew. And he probably at that point felt like, okay, finances are there, we can make this happen, let's do it for her birthday, which was really sweet. So I'm thrilled. So immediately I told him I wanted the Presto digital canner. And that is what I got. And I tell you, I'm just so excited. In fact, I'm so excited about it that I haven't even tested it out yet. I just opened it up. I was going to unfilm the whole unboxing thing, but the box was big, and I was kind of wrestling around with it. And I'm just like, it's going to end up looking like a slapstick, comedy. So I think I'll skip that part and just go right to the canner part. I did a lot of research in trying to choose this particular canner. It has pros, it has cons, and I just weighed everything along with, there's 2 other brands of electric canners. Instant Pot pressure cooker also makes the Instant Pot Max, which is a pressure canner, and Nesco also makes one. And so I did a lot of research and put a lot of thought into this previously as to narrow down which one that I wanted. And by the way, I know one of you has one of these, Adrian, and you've already given me a great review on it. And if anybody else already has one, please, give me your thoughts, comments, or anything else below, because I would love to, see what other people think of it as well. So I got the box because I want to show you something. This is one of I know people's concerns with these canners, and right here it says that that it meets the USDA safe canning guidelines. However, in my research, let me get this out of my way now. In my research, that is not true. So it looks like maybe the USDA has tested it, but they haven't actually come out with specific guidelines or anything like that that says, that it's safe. So the biggest problem that we look for in canning, especially low acid foods like meat and vegetables, is does it meet the qualifications to kill the botulism? And that's a big deal because it can be fatal. And we know that our typical canners, the big ones that for all the canning ladies out there, those do. I found a wonderful YouTube channel. I have watched several of this wonderful lady's videos before. It is called Rose Red Homestead. So you guys are probably, several of you may be familiar with it. She's got quite her and her husband do the site, and they've got quite a popular channel. And I'll leave a link to her channel if you're not familiar with her. So what is the neat thing about this lady is that she is a scientist by trade, and so she is very into making sure that your canning is safe. And so she bought herself a little, she called it a data logger, that she puts down into the jars to be able to read the data off of that after the canning is done, to see if did everything in the jar come up to temperature and stay there for the necessary amount of time. And what she discovered was that, yes, it did. There was one exception, one I'll get to in a minute, but overall, she did find that everything came out great, and it did hold pressure even a little longer than it needed to. And she tried, I think I've seen her do meat and vegetables and things, and some soups and stews and things like that. And so she felt confident in that it was safe. So that made me feel a lot better about it. The only thing that did not meet the necessary temperature and time in her experiment was she had canned some very thick, very meaty, heavy spaghetti sauce, and it did not come to temperature. So her recommendation is, if you have anything that's very thick, very viscous, to just use your regular pressure canner. But for the most part, if you're doing soups and vegetables and hamburger and chicken and things like that, it works just fine. As soon as I open the box, I've got this little quick start guide, and it looks like it's very easy. It's numbered, very simple to use. It even has little pictures there to kind of show you what's going on. So it's makes it simpler that way. It also comes with a booklet that not only has the more detailed technical instructions, but in the back it has recipes, and they actually recommend that you use their recipes. But I'm sure that they are all USDA typical things that we find online as far as time and hot pack versus raw pack and things like that. And of course, it's a little bit smaller, so it will hold 5 quart jars and it will hold 8 pint jars. I think if you use wide mouth quart jars, it may only hold 4. Right now, I think that that's perfect. I'm no longer in a place where I'm trying to can, 200-300 jars of food for our winter's use, like I was when I had a family. And so being able to have something that does small batches to do soups or leftover chili from dinner or something like that to me, is ideal. Now, it's got its pros and it's got a couple cons, but let me say the biggest thing about this canner and why I wanted it is that once you walk through all the steps to get your food canning, you walk away. And you don't have to worry about it. It maintains the pressure that it needs. It maintains it for the time that it needs. So there is literally no more babysitting a canner. And if you are an experienced canner, then you realize how much time you spend babysitting that canner, getting it going, turning down the heat, making sure the pressure is above where it needs to be, but not too high, and doesn't drop below where it needs to be. All those things they take and consume a lot of time. So I am looking forward to being able to get the process going and then just be able to walk away and not have to worry about my canner. It goes through the heat up, it times it, and then the cool down, and you just don't touch it or do anything until it has dropped all the way down, just like a regular canner, and then you are good to pull your jars out. You can use it also as a boiling water bath because it has enough room for pint jars only, because you have to have at least 2 inches of water above your jars, and there isn't room for that. Anyway, so those are my pros. The only con I would say is the cost. It is a little bit more spending than just your typical canner. This one was $285, I believe, is what I spent for it. And of course that you are limited to the number of jars that you can put in there, and the type of food that you're canning. So as long as it's not super thick and like some sort of puree, although you're typically not supposed to do that anyway, but you don't want your food to be too thick. So as long as you are using it for the intended purposes and away from that, then you're fine. But those would be the only cons so far that I see. I'm really excited to be using it when I get back. I have plans already to can some meat and some soups and different things, and so you will definitely be seeing that in upcoming videos. I should say too that another plus of this canner is that it doesn't take up a stove space. So if you've seen any of my canning videos, I don't can on my stove. My stove is really tiny, and if I'm trying to do anything else on the stove, there's just literally no room. Also, a lot of people with glass stoves, they can't actually can on their glass stoves, so this would make a great option. I use a hot plate burner separate for that, but this would take care of that for sure. Okay, I don't even remember where I was at. My glasses are dark because I just had to go outside and there's all kinds of activity happening across at the neighbors, so we were a little bit concerned, but I think everything's okay. In any case, okay, where was I? Okay guys, I think it's time for me to probably wrap this video up anyway, but I hope that you have enjoyed having your cup of coffee with me and talking about canning things. And like I said, if you have one of these canners, let me know. Are you a big canner? Is canning something that you're hoping to do at some point in the future? I've found canning and learning to can has been one of the greatest blessings ever, and I love it, and I love having food on my shelf. It's just one of those extremely practical homemaker skills to have, and it can really help you out a lot. Okay, you guys, yes, please don't forget the likes. That really helps out my video so much. You have no idea. And my channel. It's what helps my channel grow, is things like likes and comments and subscribe and all those things. They're just, it's very valuable to me as I'm watching my channel grow. It's been quite a blessing. So anyway, I hope you have an awesome day today and a good week ahead. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.